there, listeners. It's your annoyingly optimistic host here, bringing you another season of the Annoyingly Optimistic Show. Welcome to Season 2, Voicemails to Tim. Now, let's meet Tim. He's been running his own small business for almost 3 years now, and let's just say he's hit a bit of a rough patch. You know how it is. Sometimes you get so stuck, you make yourself busy and just avoid finding the real problems. Well, that's Tim. So as a good friend, I decided to leave him a daily voicemail, if I can't get hold of him, filled with nuggets of inspiration, insight and wisdom, and downright brilliant ideas to help get him unstuck. Every day, in just under 10 minutes, I'll share some tips, tricks, and a healthy dose of optimism to get Tim, and maybe even you, back on track. Because let's face it, we're all a little tired, in need of help, and muddling through. So here we go. Oh wait, never mind. Tim's being busy. Here's the voicemail I left him today. Hi Tim, sorry I missed you. Hope you're well. Quick one for you today. It's good to catch up with you again. And there's something you said that, again, as with a lot of these things, I have these great thoughts once I put the phone down from you, or once I finish reading your email, so sorry I didn't catch you. And it's something kind of close to my heart, something you've heard me kind of talk about a lot. And it's really something that's covered for me the last 18 plus months, really, and something that I know will be here for the long run. And it's this idea of committing to the process without being emotionally attached to the outcome. Now, I'm pretty sure that wonderful line, which I've used a lot, is from The Miracle Morning and The Miracle Equation. I've mentioned those a number of times. And it comes across in various ways. And I've heard various other kind of authors give different renditions of it. But that's the one that I use a lot of. So commit to the process without being emotionally attached to the outcome. Now, it's a wonderful line. I say it a lot, but what does it actually mean in this context? How is this useful for you? And it really is about this idea that the things that we do, the processes, the systems, the mindset of being someone that can change, that can achieve, that can create things, do things, and consistently turn up and keep doing them, setting little, goals and targets along the way. But it's about, rather than setting that final destination goal, where often people talk about having your GPS and knowing where you're heading. Yeah, you got to know where you're heading. But if you set yourself up for, and again, human nature kicks in as well. If you kind of go, I want to achieve X in Y time period. I want to earn this amount of money in this time period. I want to have this many customers. I want to achieve this. As soon as you put a time and a big target on there, you will either be someone that sets a really, really big target, which can be great, but can end up demoralizing you. You'll set a really small target, which won't enthuse you. You'll put a time period on there, which might be realistic, too long, too short. But all of those factors playing together means that, okay, if I want to achieve X in Y, that means in half of Y, I want to achieve half of X. Oh, I haven't achieved that. And by focusing on those goals, you can knock yourself off track with, well-intentioned, but you can end up kind of, crashing, burning, going off course, getting really, down because you're not achieving this thing. And the reason being is because in order to achieve the thing, you have to become the person that can achieve the thing. Now, again, sounds very kind of, what does that actually mean? But, and one of the phrases I like it to is this idea of, if you see someone who runs a lot and might be kind of very, very lean, kind of skinny, but runs marathons, ultra marathons and things like that, it would be easy to say, oh, he runs ultra marathons because he's fit and lean and skinny. But he's not naturally born like that, and therefore goes, do you know what, because I look like this, because I am lean and I'm good at running, I'll run a lot. He's got lean and fit because he trains and runs a lot. And it's that kind of cause and effect. And it's the same with goals. You want to achieve that thing. Well, what do I have to do? What are the processes and the steps between now and there that will turn me into the person who can then achieve that goal? And again, sporting and exercise and things like that are a great example, but it's exactly the same in business. There isn't one thing that you can do tomorrow, one big button you can press, one advert you can run, one client you can talk to, one new line you can put on your website or anything like that, that's suddenly going to transform everything in some magical thing. But it's the consistent advertising, the consistent clients, the consistent messaging,
And it's that consistent and it's that slow and steady. It's the process to becoming that. So you got to focus on what are the things I need to do to become that person, to become better on social media, to become better at marketing, to become better at closing deals. And there's a whole multitude of different answers to that. There isn't one answer because it's your unique one based on what you want to try and achieve. There's a lovely kind of story. Again, I think it's from Miracle Equation. But again, I think he's retelling of a story. But the idea remains the same. And I just want to point this very, very quickly, is that you put two people together and you hear this all the time on the news. Someone wins the lottery. So someone wins the lottery, someone doesn't win the lottery. But the second person that didn't win the lottery is set out to basically earn £1 million. That's what they want to be. So they train and put processes in and work through the business to become the person who can generate £1 million. Fast forward 10 years, the likelihood is in 99.9% of the cases is the person that got given the £1 million, won the £1 million, they've spent the £1 million. It's gone. They bought stuff, it's gone, and they're now scrabbling around and having to work again and things like that. Whereas the other person is now earning £1 million because they became the person that knew what it took and they learned what it took to generate £1 million, to budget £1 million, to then spend and reinvest that £1 million. Whereas the other person just got given the £1 million and they weren't ready for it. They didn't have the processes in place, the understanding of what to do with that so that they could make the most of it. Hopefully one of those examples kind of sticks, but it's about set yourself, what is it you want to become? Who's the person you want to become? What are the skills you want to be associated with? And work out what it's going to take, what the processes, the systems are, not the goals, to achieving where you want to get. Because you can break it all down to that, because then it's that consistency, that turning up every day that will get you to that. Most things fail, not because of lack of ideas, not because of lack of money, but typically, and again, big proviso here that they're well thought out and all the rest of it, but typically because people stop too soon, because they're chasing a level of success which in reality wasn't achievable. So therefore, they don't achieve that in the time frame that they want or the scale that they want, so they give up. Whereas if you can outlast, keep going, commit to the process, you will see the results. I call it in my kind of fitness stuff that I do, I call it the tortoise way. The hare and the tortoise. The hare running, dashing, trying different shortcuts and running and then resting and then and basically loses out to the tortoise because the tortoise just went, right, my goal is to win the race, and I'm going to do that by consistently going at a steady pace that I don't have to stop, I don't have to rest, and I put one foot in front of the other, and I'm going to get to that destination. And so that's what you've got to think. That's what the process is all about. It's the steps between now to become the person that can achieve that success. So I hope that helps, because again, been throwing lots of different things at you, but it's making sure that as we continue these conversations, that we really focus on about what do you want to become? Where do you want to get? And then we start looking at the processes between now and then that you can commit to and you can do every day, and then you'll get the rewards. So hope that helps, Tim, and looking forward to catch up with you soon. Bye for now.
And that's it for today's episode of Voicemails to Tim on the Annoyingly Optimistic Show. Now remember, Tim might be busy, but we're all in this together. Whether you're tired, in need of help, or just muddling through, Tim is here for you because, well, Tim is you. Yes, you heard that right. Tim isn't just my friend, he's a reflection of all of us who are struggling to make it work. TIM stands for tired, in need of help, and muddling through. So if you're feeling like a Tim, you're not alone. For all those ambitious listeners, if you've got a burning business question, a quirky thought, or just want to see if you can leave an even weirder voicemail, head over to the website voicemailstotim.com, submit your question, and maybe, just maybe, you'll hear your idea in a future Voicemail to Tim. So until then, stay annoyingly optimistic, keep pushing forward, and remember, if life gives you lemons, leave a voicemail about it.